Fall forward, spring back. At 8 years old, Nola O'Connor had already been late so many times. She figured she'd go on that way forever. She'd be late for her first job, her college graduation, her wedding. It didn't seem to matter much. If the groom liked her enough, he'd wait. The summer after Nala finished second grade, her family moved from Arizona to Colorado. The move brought new friends, a new school, and a new home. But one thing did not change. Nala was still late for everything. The first Friday in November, Nala's teacher sent class home with reminder that daylight saving time ended that weekend. Before you go to bed Saturday night, remember to adjust your clocks an hour, he said. Spring forward, fall back. And if you like parades, don't forget the fall festival on Sunday. Noah had never witnessed the parade. Her friend said the fall festival parade had all inspiring floats, animals, live music and dancers on stilts. She really wanted to see it. That at dinner, Nala asked her mom if they could go to the parade. "I won't be here," Mom reminded her, "but I'll bet Pablo could take you." Pablo was Nola's big brother, 16 and always sleepy. He would be in charge while their mom was away. "Can you take me to the parade?" Nola asked Pablo. "There'll be floats." "Root beer floats?" Pablo asked. Noah laughed, and so did Mom. "The parade's at 10 o'clock," Noah said. "We have to change our clocks so we don't miss it." "That's right," Mom said. "You've never had to change your clocks before." Unlike most states, Arizona didn't observe daylight saving time, so Noah had never thought much about it. She thought and She thought about it now, though. "I don't really get it," she confessed. "Are we actually saving daylight, or just moving it around?" Moving it around," Mom said. "In November, people in states that observe daylight saving set their clock back an hour, so the sun rises earlier in the morning or seems to. They set earlier in the evening. In March, they do just the opposite and the sun sets later." "Crazy stuff," Pablo yawned. On Saturday morning, their mom kissed them both goodbye, got in her car and drove to the airport. That night as Noah got in bed, she thought back to her teacher's instructions. Spring forward, fall back, or was it fall forward, spring back? Noah hesi- hesitated. Fall forward sounded better, so she set her clock forward an hour. Just like that, she shaved an hour off the day. Now it was past her bedtime. Late again. "Time," Noah sighed. "It's not my friend." Noah overslept the next morning. When she woke, her clock said 10:15. She rustled her brother out of bed. They ran over to the Grand Avenue. When they reached it, though, no crowd greeted them, no floats, no marching bands. Were were they so late that they'd missed the parade entirely? Noah hung her head in dismay. They turned around and headed home. But back on their street, they spotted something. It was their neighbor Frank climbing around next to a gigantic, bright orange something. Could this be a float? They walked over for a closer inspection. It was a float, an 8-foot pumpkin set up on a trailer. Frank turned and saw them standing there. He lit up like jack-o'-lantern. "The early birds gets the worm," he cried. Nola and Pablo looked at each other. Pablo never been early for anything in his life either. "Climb on up here, Sonny, and give me a hand with this wrench," shouted Frank. "You too, Missy." They climbed up beside an oversized pumpkin and Frank put them to work. For more than an hour, Pablo hammered. Noah glued orange and tissue paper in place. They arranged giant fake leaves and vines around the giant fake pumpkin. They were they When they were done, the float looked fantastic. So Pablo said at last, "I guess you are all ready for next year's parade." Frank looked confused. "Next year?" he cried. "Wh- When you're my age, Sonny, you don't plan for next year. Put your seat belts on. We've got we've got a parade to get go." Just then, Noah and Pablo heard the first notes of marching band. They blinked in confusion. Confusion. "Wait a minute," Noah said. "Wasn't the parade at 10 o'clock today?" "Was it 10?" Frank cried. "Will be at 10 is more like it." He thrust his wristwatch toward them. Pablo yawned. "Your watch say 9:30," he said. Nana laughed for joy. I fell forward," she said. "I needed to fall back." Noah had sprung forward an hour then everybody else had fallen back an hour. That meant she and Pablo were now 2 hours ahead of everybody else. For once in their lives, they were early. "You woke me up 2 hours early," Pablo cried. "The early bird gets the worm," Noah cried. Frank nodded. "You got it now, Missy," he said. Pablo yawned. It was all a big mistake, but it turned out to be a great mistake. It's why they rode in a parade on Frank's giant pumpkin float, and why they've ridden with Frank every year since. It's also why, from that day to this, Noah O'Connor had made sure to be early for everything. 2 minutes early, though, not 2 hours.